Slideshow. Howdily doodly. How do you doodly? Hey, y'all gotta bow down to me because y'all gotta stay humble when you're around the king of fumble. All right, I'm gonna tell you something right now, y'all. It's good to see you guys again. I recorded, a draft of this video. I looked at the UFC rankings, and without having a script in my mind, I just made UFC fights I would love to see with WWE stories. So I'm going to recreate that video minus the cuss words because some of the people who watch my channel are kids because I collaborate with SpongeBob. So, boys, UFC but WWE, what does this mean? I'll tell you right now. So UFC but WWE means we're going to have a full card of fights, one fight for each division, and it's going to have a story that goes along with it. There's going to be an interesting match type. It's not just going to be MMA rules. It's going to be steel cage or whatever it is, right? So we're going to do that, and it's going to be great. Here we go. In the flyweight division, the story is Kai Kara France coming back to snag that robbery back from Amir Albazi. It says normal match, but I actually have an idea. All right, here's what I would do. Kai Kara France destroys his next opponent. And Amir Albazi, I want him to go full heel. I want Kara France to call Amir Albazi out. I want him to say, I can't do an Australian accent, you're taking everything I work for, man. All that stuff, right? And then Amir Albazi, he's wearing a suit, glasses, all that stuff. He's like, you can't beat me, right? Instead of having it be a normal match, I would have it be a 2 out of 3 finishes match, where the fight does not end until someone gets finished twice. So the first fall would, the first finish would be a knockout, and that would be for Kara France. So Albazi gets knocked out, but then Albazi submits Kai Kara France, so then it's down to 1-1, and whoever wins that wins the fight. That would be hilarious. I would love to see that in the UFC. I don't know why they don't do it. I'm gonna move my mouse out the way. Oh, jeez. Here we go. The next fight. I want to see brother turn against brother. Teammate turn against teammate. After Aljamain Sterling defends the championship from Sean O'Malley, Merab Dvalishvili walks in the cage and gives Aljamain Sterling a hug. And then he hits him in the back with a steel chair. Now, I think that Aljamain Sterling would then delay his go to featherweight. He's still the champion, but Merab now wants what he has. So, it's a whole 4 or 5 month build-up. And eventually, it's a steel cage match, so no one can get in, no one can get out. There's no escaping. But I want the special guest referee to be Petr Yan. Someone who lost to both Sterling and Merab. That would be hilarious. And then I'd have Merab win. Because then he'd be this bad guy, champion that the next big underdog would face. I don't know who that would be. Leave it in the comments. Who would Merab face? I don't know. Because I didn't think of that. For featherweight. Now this one's not my favorite, but the idea is Brian Ortega broke his arm against Yair Rodriguez. For some reason, Brian Ortega is still number 3. And I want Ortega to film vignettes in his gym where he's doing bicep curls and tricep extensions, doing stuff that people with broken arms don't normally do. And you see him get better, and you see him do all these exercises and his sparring and submitting people and breaking people's arms. Maybe not that, but Yair Rodriguez, I want him to be a full heel. I want him to still carry around that custom made interim belt, and I want him to say, I'll break your arm again. Trust. Pause. So, he'd be one of those cringy. I don't think he probably wouldn't say much. That would probably be his persona. He wouldn't say much. He'd wear glasses indoors, psychopath. So then you have Ortega versus Rodriguez in a submission match. So the only way you can win is by submission, and I would have Rodriguez win. Not really. I'd probably have Ortega win. I don't think about the winners. I just think about the stories, dude. So why not? Let's give Ortega the wins. That way he has a reason to be ranked number 3. So, and then he could lose to Volkanovski again. All right, lightweight. Y'all are probably thinking, I know you. Hey, you. Hey, listen to this. I know you. You're saying, oh, it's going to be Chandler versus McGregor. Nah. Chandler versus McGregor falls through. McGregor fights someone else instead. And McGregor fights the BMF champion, Justin Gaethje. And Justin Gaethje mops the floor with Conor, destroys him completely. He's done. He's had his shot. Get out of here. So he has a shot, right? And then after the fight, who walks in but Michael Chandler? And he says, "You took my fight, so I'm coming for you, Gaethje. God bless. See you at the top," right? He does all that, that entire spiel, right? And then you have Gaethje versus Chandler 2 in an I quit match. So the only way that you can win is if your opponent says that they quit, like verbally. So it's not like a technical submission. It's not knockout. It is I quit, right? So then Gaethje versus Chandler 2 happens. It's the fight of the year. And that's probably the main fight of this card that I would love to see. Next, at welterweight, it's time for Bilal Muhammad to get his revenge, y'all. Bilal Muhammad puts a beating on whoever his next opponent is, as long as it's not Shavkat. I would love it. This would be so funny to me, y'all. Imagine this, all right? Bilal Muhammad gets booked versus Kamaru Usman, and they fight. And in the first round, Bilal Muhammad hits the same head kick KO that knocked out Kamaru. And then he does the same celebration that Leon did. And then he calls Leon out, right? And then it's like, confirmed that they're fighting next. But because, it's a championship fight, the fun thing would be is if the UFC put a 15-minute time limit on it, So it's just like straight wrestling, and everybody hates it, bro. And then Muhammad wins, and then he's the champion for the next 5 years. That would be my pitch. I would job Kamaru Usman out to Bilal Muhammad. I would then have Edwards versus Muhammad happen. That'd be so funny. Oh, Bilal should totally say, "Look at me now." He has to. Like, with his glasses on and he's trying to be cool. "Look at me now," right? He has to do that. You can't tell me you wouldn't pay money to see that fight. Moving on. Oh my gosh, it never gets old looking at this one, dude. So Paulo Costa versus Khamzat Chimaev is happening. It's happening now anyway, so why not? Let's make it a secret juice on a pole match, bro. So how this works, yeah, is on one side of the octagon there is a pole that goes above the octagon, and it has Paulo Costa's secret juice. And so Paulo Costa takes the fight knowing that if he doesn't, he will have his secret juice revoked. And then it's a fight to get to the secret juice. And I would actually have Costa win. That way Khamzat gets vanquished, because I don't like Khamzat. He has a weird beard and like his lip, respectfully. I shouldn't say that though, because he could totally beat me up. Khamzat, I'm sorry, please forgive me. All right. So yeah, secret juice on a pole match. Gee whiz. Okay. The UFC needs to make a triple threat match, all right? You have the blue corner. You have the red corner. I'm introducing the green corner. There's 8 corners of the octagon. Let's use them, all right? Yuri's out. Then Hill gets the belt. Hill's out. Pereira just beat Blachowicz. Pereira beats Magomed Ankalaev and wins the belt. So Pereira's the champion. I would have it so that Hill and Yuri walk into the cage at the same time, and they say at the same time, "I'm coming," all right? Yeah? Dana White then books the first ever UFC triple threat match. And just for fun, he's a special guest referee. And I would probably have... I'd want Yuri to win, but it would probably be Pereira. I would want Yuri to win. But you can't tell me that fight wouldn't be amazing. And it's the first person to, like, knock out both... So imagine this, right? Here's how I would do it. So the first person gets knocked out and they're out of the match. So, like, let's say that Pereira knocks out Jamal Hill. Then Jamal Hill is out of the cage, and then it's a one-on-one between Yuri and Alex. And then whoever wins that one is the champion. That would be hilarious. Then the last one is more like a measure of skill. In my original draft, I had it as Tai Tuivasa becoming a submission specialist, but then I realized, let's just have Aspinall versus Almeida in a submission match. Like, you could just make it so Tom's like, Jailton, I'm better than you. I'm not going to do impressions, all right? The only one I can do that's decent is like a Chills voice. That's the most annoying impression to do. So I'll spare you from that. But just have Aspinall be like, Jailton, I'm better than you, and you know it. And then Almeida like flips him off from the crowd, like does the double middle finger. and then like that's the fight made, and it's a submission match, and then Almeida wins because I like him, and his nickname literally translates to muscly, and that's kind of a flex. So, my card: Aspinall versus Almeida, Hill versus Prohaska versus Pereira, Paulo Costa versus Hamzat Chimaev on a secret juice on a pole match, Leon Edwards versus Bilal Muhammad 2 with a 15-minute time limit, Gaethje versus Chandler 2 in an I Quit match, Brian Ortega versus Yair Rodriguez 2 in a submission match, Aljamain Sterling versus Merab Dvalishvili in a steel cage match, and Amir Albazi versus Kai Kara France in just a 2 out of 3 finishes match. The main event, well, I'd probably have the co-main be Sterling versus Merab, and then the main event be Gaethje Chandler 2. So this would be the main selling point of the card. But that is my UFC but WWE card. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this video was better than the first one. I hope the quality actually works. That's all I got for you guys today, so have a great day, and I'm going to end this off with a little dippity-dippity. Yeah, that perfect take.